Look at the sheer volume of people moving in the exact same direction. Total momentum, but walking in sync with a rhythm they didn't choose. Now look at the alternative. This is a person who has chosen to stop. It's a deliberate separation from the noise of the masses. Most of us live with a quiet friction, the gap between the life we promised ourselves and the one we're actually living. For many, measuring that early vision against their current reality reveals a slow, steady drift toward the middle. This drift isn't accidental. Mediocrity is a social contagion, caught by accepting the path of least resistance, choosing cheap comfort, and operating as though your time is infinite. Society acts as an incubator for this condition. It rewards those who blend in, training you to value the safety of the crowd more than the pursuit of your own potential. This creates a difficult paradox. You want a different result for your life, but you are hesitant to become the exception to the rule. You find yourself seeking approval from the very people who are also stuck. Because they are comfortable with their own baseline, their advice will naturally pull you back toward them. This flowchart shows the loop. Desire for change is met with the fear of standing out. You seek permission from the crowd, guiding you right back. In this loop, the descent is permanent. Ambition flatlines as you trade agency for comfort. Because this pressure is environmental, surviving it requires a transition. You have to remove yourself from the surroundings that make mediocrity feel like the only option. This transition starts with a departure. You have to step out of the matrix of common people doing common things. You enter what is known as the lonely chapter. It is a mandatory quarantine period where you distance yourself from the routines and the social circles that kept you average. This graphic illustrates the messy middle. Your old life faded, but your new life hasn't materialized. You exist in the isolated gap between who you were and who you are becoming. You no longer relate to old friends and haven't entered a new circle. But this silence is functional. It provides the space necessary to audit your life, identify your weaknesses, and stop making excuses for your lack of progress. Without the distraction of the crowd, you're forced to see how often you've used cheap entertainment and scrolling to hide from yourself. You begin to realize that your daily habits were functioning like painkillers, numbing the valid frustration of your unreached potential. The math is simple. You cannot achieve an uncommon life while holding on to common habits. One must be sacrificed for the other. This phase isn't just about waiting. It's about detoxification. You are aggressively stripping away the behavioral programming that kept you comfortable and stagnant. When you complete this quarantine, the infection is gone. You are left with a clean slate, ready to build a structure that won't break under pressure. Now that the slate is clean, you apply the inoculation, non-negotiable discipline. This is the warrior monk archetype. You take the frustration of your past complacency and channel it into highly controlled, focused action. Success is rarely about being special. It is about being consistent when the crowd is not. It is the simple refusal to take shortcuts when no one is watching. This split screen shows the daily decision. When the alarm sounds, the masses negotiate with fatigue, choosing comfort. The outsider chooses immediate action. While others compromise, the warrior monk builds momentum. Every time you refuse to negotiate with weakness, you move up the growth curve. This is the price of mastery. You put in the work in private so that you can eventually enjoy the rewards in public. We weren't built to live in a self-imposed prison of fear, waiting for someone else to tell us we're allowed to succeed. By completing this process, you gain self-governance. You move through the world with quiet confidence, no longer anchored by the gravity of the crowd. Stepping out of the matrix is the only way to build a life that's truly yours. It is the result of choosing the difficult path of growth over the easy path of the masses. If you are ready to cure mediocrity and build a life of discipline, subscribe to the Rise Within community. Leave a comment below. What is one average habit you are replacing today to reclaim your time? Lock in, take action, and rise within.